for lack of anything better to do, I'm going to be modifying this tree today. So to start off, I've decided that my life's not hard enough, so I'm going to be making a whole bunch of just absolutely crazy branches. Now, what's interesting about these branches is that they're going to be branches. They're going to be very branchy branches that are going to branch like branches. And it's going to be crazy. You see, I have some outlines. You see, I have these ugly circles right here. Yep, those are interesting, and we're going to make branches that go in between those ugly circles. And if you thought I didn't have enough ugly circles, I have more ugly circles back behind here. And of course, I have infinite fly, which is absolutely amazing. I have infinite propulsion and thrust because the game wasn't hard enough already. So instead, I'm going to just run around, crash into everything, die, and not have anything useful happen for the entirety of this episode. So, hi, I'm Rory. Welcome to Rory's Survival Series, and we're going to have some fun, whether you like it or not. Now, you see over here, I have these things called crevices. And crevices are very important in Minecraft because everything's made out of blocks. And you want crevices to make everything just, like, really difficult for yourself. It's really quite an amazing thing, and somehow it makes things look better, so I'm told. But yeah, if you come down here, we can fly down, and we're not going to use a rocket because that's going to be a disaster. But if you look up, we have a bunch of weird holes everywhere, and you can see the ugly circles are still making everything look like absolute junk. I really got to put some branches in those branches. I don't know what that was. Branches in the branches. Yes, and then I'll be able to fly through the branches and then have very branchy branches that I can crash into and spend forever trying to get my stuff from because they're going to be in all sorts of different little cubbies and nooks and crannies, and I'm definitely going to lose some of my shulker boxes to that situation. But yeah, this right here, it is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful thing. Being this high up, that means that everywhere there's darkness, you're going to have a bunch of mobs spawning everywhere and creepers blowing up all my hard work. So that's the joy of being up high. It's just the first dark spot you find is going to be covered in a bunch of monsters. An absolutely insane amount of monsters. You might as well make a mob farm out of this, because why not? I have decided this is not going to be my base. This is instead going to be a very big and heavily inefficient mob farm. Because if creepers are going to be blowing it up, I might as well just own up to it. Anyway, when I was making this in the last episode, I realized I didn't have enough little branch holes. You see, I made these little things right here. These were ugly holes, just like those ugly holes. And originally, I thought, you know what, these aren't very big. But instead of actually replacing them and making them into big, girthy branches like they should have been, I just made more branches. I just made more ugly holes. And now there's ugly holes everywhere, and I get to make twice as many main branches as I originally thought I would. But I did save myself a little bit of time, and I turned one of them into a nice little knob. Now, however many more of these are going to turn into nice, lovely little knobs, I don't know. But right now we need to focus on just getting an outline going and figuring out where these branches are going to go. As stated in the previous episode, this is going to be a babesia tree, which is a mix between a baobab tree and an acacia tree. Minecraft doesn't have baobab trees, it has acacia trees. But the thing is, like, the frame of reference is copyrighted, so instead you can look at this image right here. This is the acacia tree, the Minecraft acacia tree, that is going to be your frame of reference. Meanwhile, I get to actually pretend I have a frame of reference and just get building. So you'll never see that picture. Maybe just Google acacia trees if you've got nothing better to do. And I've effectively redone some of the work I already did in the last episode, which was making big ugly shafts going into the middle of where the trees are going to be. These are going to be where the branches are going to be, and they're going to follow these paths. And now we need to make them go absolutely crazy. You see, it really wouldn't be an acacia tree if it was just a whole bunch of orderliness and cleanliness. No, these branches need to go every which direction so that it can be as chaotic as possible. And for some reason, it's going to end up looking really good in the final result. I don't know that. I'm just wishing very hopefully. Now, it appears that there is no set number of the amount of branches to branch off from any particular branch. That is a bit of a tongue twister, but you'll get what I'm saying in a minute. Some branches fork off into 2, others into 3, others into 5 for some reason. So there's really no sort of natural order with acacia trees, so we're just going to go completely ham and let this go the way it is going to go. We're probably going to want to go with 4 here. Yes, that seems like a decently reasonable number. And we'll veer off to the side a little bit. I'll tell you what, we'll make this one extra vertical because we need verticalness in some random cases. And then of course this one will go off this will just be like flat on the plane, and it'll It'll be like a little bit of order in this madness. There, that doesn't look intentional at all. That looks just fine. And of course, for good measure, we're gonna keep this one going in the middle of basically the same way it was going before, and just have 4 branches coming off of here for absolutely no reason. There, now to make the other ones just as terrible as this one. Because I've got nothing better to do with my life, I'm having the time of my life assembling all of these random lines that go off into every direction. Now, I've only touched the top part of these, I gotta work on the bottom ones now. Yippee-ki-yay, this is gonna be amazing when I'm done with it, and it's gonna be such a pain. Because, look, all of these I have to actually make the wood logs for. So watch, you're gonna watch me make all this extra work for myself. You're enjoying this, I bet you are. I'm making so much work for make this look fine and polished at a later time. All I need to do is make an incredible amount of work for myself. Really annoying thing about that looking so interesting and good is that these other ones look like absolute crap. Which means I have to hurry up and figure out what I'm supposed to do with the rest of these. I think my best option is to make this one look like absolute crap. So okay, you are unforgivable, my good sir. You're just a mess, and I'm sorry I ever built you. So I gotta figure out what to do with this one. See, this one's a little bit flat. We'll give it a bit of a curvature. This is decent enough. That one's a little bit chaotic. That one's a little bit chaotic. That one's really kind of strange. It doesn't look strange from that angle. Let me check it out from a different angle. See how I feel about it. Yeah, that looks fine. That was just a really bad angle for it. And that looks good. Looks like we got a good starting point. I haven't decided whether or not I want to start actually building the branches, or if I should just keep making craziness. But the thing is, I should probably just start making these wooden parts, have the actual wood of the tree being built, and then see where we're going from there. Because these lines can only conceptualize things oh so much. And that means it's time to get on to the really grindy and nitty-gritty part of this, which is making it work. Now, the thing is, these wood blocks, they're directional, which means, you see this? These look ugly if you put them in the wrong direction. If they're all facing different directions, it looks really trash. And that means I have to go and, physically put all these extra blocks so that they're all facing the same direction. I have all these temporary blocks that I wouldn't have originally had to do. Meanwhile, with this, I can just build, like this. But with these blocks, you have to go like this, and then like this, and like this, and then you have to break these blocksies, and then you have to go like this and this, and you know what? It takes a lot longer. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just being pathetic and very dramatic, but I think it does take a lot of time, and I think it is unnecessarily evil. I think things in Minecraft should just build themselves the way you want them to be, with no questions asked. I think the game should just conform. I need to get ChatGPT to play Minecraft with me, dang it. Alright, now this one in particular is gonna get quite crazy, and that's gonna be completely by design. Thing is, things can't look too orderly or symmetrical, or otherwise this whole thing just turns into a big ugly mess. And it's a slightly oval shape, which is okay, because I want it to go actually more in a vertical direction. So this is modeled after a very particular branch, and this one is going to go up like so. We need to make this even more vertical. We need to make this incredibly vertical. It's okay, we're just wasting oak planks. Nobody cares about the oak planks. Nobody cares that we're wasting them. You know what? That's okay. And we can make it go out even further, and it'll look... Dang it. Alright, but enough tangents. I need to actually physically start building actual branches. Now, I hope this doesn't take as long as I'm thinking it's going to take. I just want decent, relatively quick progress. So let's start with somewhere simple and just have this be built. and we'll see what happens with it. Okay, let me show you what it looks like. Actually, this is mainly for me. You saw the time lapse. This is what we got. Oh, look, we've got another block floating in the middle of nowhere. Wonderful. Okay. Yep, this took about 40 minutes. And I've got to do a lot of them. A lot of them. This is going to take forever. But I am very pleased with the way this looks. It's originally, as I was building it, I didn't think it was going to look as good as it does now. So that alleviates a lot of my worries, and it looks like very natural. It's really just a short segment of a stump, but it does look natural. If you look here, it looks weird and concerning, but if you were to go to, say, I don't have a good airship over in this direction. Oh, I have this one. Yeah, so if I peek over here, that's not a good angle. That's not a good angle. Okay. Yeah, that looks natural. It's a bit thick, but you know, it's a bit elongated, but I think that's perfectly forgivable for a tree stump. So now time to move forward and do this a million more times. You see, I have these 3 circles right here. This one came about the way up to that one circle, and then I have to do the same thing for these. This was, if I'm being honest, this was really fun. I'm gonna be at this for a while. I'm gonna be quite busy. Well, I can't play audio on this thing anymore because my headphones broke and I'm waiting for new ones to come by. And it is going to take a couple of days, but for now, I just want to tell you where I'm at right now. You've been looking at this the entire time, so you know it probably looks really good. And I do know this looks pretty good because I built it myself, and that's the way it works. Yeah, it's those. Those are what it looks like, and man, that's actually really interesting. That's a really interesting little piece of knob there. I don't know how else to say that, but just because of the angle that I had to build this thing in, it just ultimately ended up in it working out to be a whole bunch of really long, straight little things. And you know what? I'm not too worried about it. This looks really nice. I actually like the effect of this down here being a missing branch, and I'll be able to use this to fly in and out. So this is going to not have a branch in it. As you can see, you have like the little stairway leads up to this. But I gotta figure out what to do with the rest of this, because this entire project took almost 3 hours, probably about 2.5. And that's an incredibly a long amount of time, because it's just a slow process working on something this big. So, yeah, this is what it looks like. It looks really cool. I have 2 ways of going about this. I could build these up all the way up to where those original branches are going to be, or I could start working on these 2 lower ones. And you know what? If I work on the 2 lower ones, it's probably going to be faster if I just work on these 3 upper ones first. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it makes sense to me. So I'm about to spend the next 3 hours building these to the point where these 3 main branches are ready to branch off. Okay, so this is actually surprisingly difficult because the way it looks when you're up here looks way different than how it looks for when you're, like, say, over here. And I can't elytra my way down here because I am incredibly incompetent at building and just, like, flying in Minecraft. But, you see, this, it looks pretty simple, right? Just make a circle here, make a circle there, make a circle there. But if you walk up to it here, like I am right now, excuse me, I'm just being incredibly stupid right now, don't mind me, this is just me not being able to go up a wonky ladder. as you can see, if you look up here, it looks way different. This does not like it's like just being up here changes the entire perspective on this build, and like it doesn't even look like it's branching. It just looks like a mess. So I gotta be really intentional with how I'm about to do this. So I am gonna just build and see where the building takes me. And I'll just hope for the best and it ends up looking good. I don't know if it's gonna, but I'll try. Okay, so I think you'll see all the trouble I went to just to get this one little circle. I had first ended up going about by making like a little like trisection there at the top and then branching all around, but then I realized, oh wait, hold on, these are branching up. So that they need to swoop around like this. Oh hey, I have a circle now. Oh wait, guess what? It's incredibly big. It's a ridiculously big circle compared to the other ones. That I think is a decent size because if you were to take that cross-section area, you see, it would take up about a third of the cross-section area of that little thing right there, which is roughly what we need to do. That's the rule I deduced about these natural-looking tree builds a while ago. So that's good, and guess what? It works, and I gotta make 3 more. I spent literally almost an hour trying to get just like that one ugly circle. And the thing is, I don't need one of these ugly circles. I need like 10. Because I need like 2 for there. I need like 5 over there. I think it's 4 over there, then a 3 here. It's just that I need a ridiculous amount of these ugly circles, and this just took so long. And of course, we have all this other stuff I want to get rid of because we have all these ugly attempts over here in the making. This was like way more difficult than you would think it would look. Now I haven't gotten a good look at this from a distance yet, so I'm gonna peek. Yeah, that looks reasonable. That looks like a reasonable branch size coming off of a large branch this big. So this is working. Okay, good news, better than bad news for sure. I have 3 ugly circles. There we go. One there, one there, one there, and you know what? They're a reasonable size. That's a very reasonable size, especially considering the size of that branch right there. This one might collide with it a little bit, but I'm not incredibly worried about it because these are just meant to be the base. Now, of course, I gotta do this for the other 3, but I just want to explain really quick what I'm doing here. So I'm going to build this branch up all the way to there, and then once I get this, oh crime. I don't even know what hit me. I'm going to assume it was a skeleton. Anyway, so I'm going to build up this branch all the way up there, and it's going to, like, connect with them, and then that'll be that, and then I need to do that for those over there, and then I need to do it for those two. And then I will officially have main branches done. Well, the main branch up until the point in which they branch, in which case it becomes different branches. The point in which one branch becomes 3 branches, the point that branch ends. I think that makes sense. Alright, so I'm finally done with all the big ugly circles, and we've got some interesting building mechanics too. We have 2 large ones over there, 3 medium ones over here, and 3 medium and 1 large over there, and like these are actually on the smaller side, but these should be sufficient for the size of the branch that we currently have. Now, I probably said this before, but I'm going to say it again. You want the cross-sectional area of the branches branching from a branch to be the same as the main branch. So basically, that area plus that area needs to roughly be equal to that area. Otherwise, it's not going to look natural. But since it's divulging into, we can get away with a little bit of leeway. But in any case, this is going to look really good once we're done, and it will be actually very fun. But I am going to be honest, this still took about 2 hours. And that was just getting the big ugly circles done. Once we actually do the, physical filling them in, it becomes a lot easier, except for the fact that we're going to have a bunch of horrible crevices. These like little crevices right here, these were incredibly difficult to do, and I kept messing up. And I tried to build it from the crevice out for those over there for making the circles, and that turned out to be a completely backwards way of doing it. You have to start with the big ugly circles, and you have to build between them, and then you have to figure out the crevices along the way, and it's just a mayhem. But this is going to look really good, but I just need I've been focusing so much on just the tiny itty bitty little things about like getting these circles just right, and oh they're too big, now they're too small. I can't find the middle ground, la 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 la, but I need to just take a peek at this from afar so that I feel better about my life. Um, it's really hard to conceptualize how this is going to end up looking, simply because of all the empty space and like the blocks being in front of each other and the big ugly like outline, like the center lines everywhere. This is going to be crazy, but it is also going to be incredibly fun. It's already fun. It's just very time consuming, and I didn't die. Yay! Hi everyone, I'm doing this thing where I'm figuring out why my audio is stuttering so much. I have attempted a new setting here in Minecraft that causes terrain to load faster, with the expense of just doing extra threads. It might affect my frame rate a little bit, but really it's not affecting it all that much. Might actually help with the parallel processing considering I have multi-core GPU. But this is it! This is it! Look at it! It's got 3 little branches that branch off into the other branch. So that means that these 3 branches are complete, and I get to move on to other things, but I gotta stop the video here, else this is gonna take absolutely forever, and you'll never get to see this episode, but it'd be a really cool episode, it'd be like 3 hours long, but anyway, I digress. There's just so much left to do, and I'm ready to just get moving on to the point where I can make another video, but this is a good stopping point, and I'll just keep moving to the next stopping point. You'll get more and more videos, and hopefully you enjoy this new way of recording videos. I certainly do. So enjoy your time. Jesus loves you. Have a good time until the next episode comes out. Hopefully you enjoyed this one enough to watch that one too. In any case, I'll see you later. Bye bye.